So as we know, AT&T and Warner Media have been making cuts at every corner to try to shed their $152 billion in debt. Well, remember how they said that there was no sacred calves? Well, looks like Sony is about to buy Crunchyroll, and this is going to be terrible if they do for anime. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So it looks like Sony is going to buy Crunchyroll, as they are nearing the acquisition, and they're going to be buying it for more than $950 million. Definitely more than what I still think that it's worth, but, it's not as much as what AT&T was originally asking for it. And we're going to talk about why this is something that fans should fear when it comes to anime's future if this happens. But first, before we get into it, I just wanted to say I hope that all of you, first off, had a wonderful Halloween. I hope it was safe for all of you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And, I'm sorry this content is coming out so late. Originally, it was going to be out 2 days ago, and, just a lot of things have been going on. As many of you already know, my father has been very ill, and I've been trying to go back and forth to visit with him and to try to help him out with anything he needs. He's been having a bit of a hard time getting around, but other than that, his health has been going up a little bit, so he's been doing a bit better, which it's very good. And during this time, it's been stressful. Not as much content's been going up, but I want to say that, thank you all for the support during this time. It's meant so much to me. It's been very encouraging, and, all of you are awesome, and I want to thank you for your patience with me, and I want to thank you all for just all the support you give. It means so much, and I really do appreciate it. So there's going to be 2 more videos going up, one of them being the Q&A today, so be sure to look forward to that. So I just wanted to give everybody an update, so let's go ahead and get into this. So Sony nears acquisition of U.S. anime streaming service Crunchyroll. Entertainment giant could pay more than $950 million as talks wind up with parent AT&T. Now, the original idea of what AT&T and Warner Media was going to do is they were going to push in Crunchyroll to HBO Max, but as time goes on, we've been seeing how bad their debt has been and how much they've been trying to chop to try to cut it down, and that really hasn't helped. Things changed within a year, and as you can tell, things didn't get any better for AT&T and Warner Media, and this is what happened. So this article is by Nikkei Asia. Sony has entered into final negotiations to acquire U.S. anime streaming service Crunchyroll. Nikkei learned on Friday a deal that could catapult the Japanese icon into a global battle with the likes of Netflix. Yeah, I'd say so in terms of anime at least, considering that at that point, once Sony does buy Crunchyroll, then they would be one big monopoly of anime, which we're going to talk about that in a moment. Then, yeah, there would be a lot of competition in the anime department. Now, of course, when it comes to Netflix, though, they're spiking the prices as of recent because of the degenerate stuff that they support, like that abomination film that never should have been made, like Cuties, for example, and they're losing subscribers over it. So they're hurting right now, which they should be after supporting that trash. But if Sony does buy Crunchyroll, which, they're nearing that deal, then, yeah, there would be a lot of competition there for anime. Sony could end up spending more than 100 billion yen, $950 million, on the U.S. streamer, gaining its 70 million members around the world. Now, mind you, they say 70 million members, but there's a lot more free members than there are actually paying for the service, because they only have 3 million subscribers, like a little over that. So when it comes to members overall that are paying, there's not as much as there are free members on the service. Keep that in mind. Sony has its own popular anime like Kimetsu no Yaiba, Demon Slayer, which very successful in the box office, by the way, doing really well over there, but has been licensing it to streaming services. Sony's Aniplex, the studio behind Kimetsu no Yaiba, has a variety of content, including movies and music, that is mainly distributed by overseas companies. If the acquisition is realized, global competition for content among companies like Netflix and Hulu will intensify. Sony recently obtained the exclusive right to negotiate for Crunchyroll. My problem with that is that when you look at Sony and you look at how censor happy they've been with anime when it comes to their games, yeah, I'm not liking that deal, and that does not look good for anime's future. After acquiring Funimation, an anime distributor, in 2017, Sony gained 1 million paying subscribers, mainly in the US, but came up against obstacles expanding this customer base. Yeah, and I mean, here's another thing. When it comes to Funimation, we've seen how bad that they've become over the years. That's another thing that you have to worry about when it comes to anime also, seeing their censorship too. Crunchyroll has 70 million free members and 3 million paying subscribers. I guess so. There they mention it right there. In more than 200 countries and regions, including the US and Europe, Crunchyroll would also give Sony more than 1,000 titles that it can use to vary its offerings. Now, what I wouldn't doubt is that Sony is probably going to use that Demon Slayer money that they got from the box office is probably where it's going to go. They're probably going to use that to buy Crunchyroll. I bet that's why now they finally have decided to go and say, hey, you know what? I think we might want to buy this now. that's something that's kind of come to my mind here. So I would not be surprised if that's what it is. The company, once known for Trinitron's TVs and Walkman personal stereos, has grown into an entertainment colossus that plans to strengthen its side of its business by building on Crunchyroll's membership base. With the pandemic convincing people around the world to entertain themselves at home, demand for video distribution services is swelling, and competition for popular content is intensifying. Netflix, the largest streamer, is forming alliances with animation studios, while Disney last year took its popular library and began its own streaming service. Now, what's kind of funny about that is that Disney has not really focused as much on animation, ironically. And then Netflix has been trying to work with people who used to work with Disney animations. I think that's kind of funny how that works, how Netflix is now trying to do that. And they have like 6 animated films, I think, planned for their platform. That's where Disney's over here like, we'll work with Marvel and Star Wars. Like do more Marvel and Star Wars stuff. So I kind of found that to be kind of odd how Disney's kind of just like not doing as much animation as they used to. Kind of strange and ironic when you think about it. According to the Association of Japanese Animations, the global anime market in 2018 was worth about $21 billion, 1.5 times that of 5 years earlier, which, yeah, anime is booming. It is really blowing up. The overseas market accounts for nearly half of total demand. And I mean, look, you see how popular anime's become. It just reels in the money. I mean, at this point, when you have all these Puritans that are over here that are screeching over entertainment, trying to push politics into it, and then you have anime, Japan, that doesn't listen to this stuff, and what they do is they just make their own stuff, and they make good content. Oh yeah, people have been going more to anime and manga. It's been booming because people love it because, it's not about politics. It's not about shoving that stuff into your face. It's about people just being able to escape and have a good time, watching and enjoying and reading good stuff, good fiction. But, when it comes to AT&T, they didn't see Crunchyroll as a priority. See, that was not important to them, especially when they have so many streaming services. I mean, they had been talking about selling it. I mean, and that's the big thing. Many of us were saying, look, Crunchyroll is probably going to be sold. Prepare for it. It's probably going to happen. And they had already planned on selling it because you look at all the debt they've been going through and everything. And then, you look at all the cuts. And then John Stanky over there at AT&T and Warner Media, stating that there was no sacred cows, that anything could go, anything that wasn't a priority is going to be gone. I mean, Crunchyroll's not a priority to them because of all the streaming services they already have. I mean, look, Rooster Teeth's going to go. I mean, it's going to be thrown in the trash bin eventually. I mean, I can already tell you that's probably going to happen. I mean, and, which is even less valuable than Crunchyroll. So, yeah, Warner Media and AT&T, they are making all of the cuts. And, when you look at that with Sony acquiring Crunchyroll, it's going to become one big anime monopoly. They're practically going to own the industry at that point, which is worrisome. And when it comes to Crunchyroll, Crunchyroll may have that big office over there in San Francisco. Well, that's probably going to change. It's like I said, as somebody who's worked for a company, I don't know how in the world anybody could get work done in a big place like this. It's like a mini Tokyo in San Francisco. I don't know how anybody, with having those pool tables and, like arcade machines, I don't know how in the world anybody would get work done over there. That's what I would really question. It's like, hey, how are you getting jobs done? But, that studio, which was massively expensive for AT&T and Warner Media, that's going to be gone. They're not going to keep that. I don't know how they would. There's no way they're going to keep that. That's going to be completely cut. And I just don't understand how anybody would get jobs done at that. But it's going to get real bad for anime, and it's not going to look too good. And here's why. You look at Sony. You look at all the terrible things that they have done. Like, for example, Sony is reportedly changing its standards for the spicy content in new PlayStation games in response to the ME2 movement and live streaming. And what did they do? They started censoring plenty of anime games, and they completely were trying to make sure that anyone that partnered with them that had anime games that were making them, right, that they censored them. And this wasn't happening on PC, wasn't happening on Switch, it was happening on PlayStation. And they even ruined Senran Kagura because of this. They completely ruined it. That's whenever I stopped supporting Sony, because I was like, nuh-uh, you're going to ruin one of my all-time favorite franchises. I am out. And that's the problem. They completely ruined that. And this is truly a huge concern when it comes to anime. But you think it's already bad enough? Well, look at this. There is a rumor. There is a rumor that I've talked about a couple of times that potentially PlayStation might be censoring things for Tencent. And as we already know, Tencent wants their hand in on anime. They're trying to jump in on it. And you look at all the things that go on in the West, you know, that's already an issue as itself because you got Puritans who are screeching over anime all the time, trying to get it censored or trying to get it banned. And then, of course, why do you think Japan is trying right now to work with their government to make sure that nothing gets altered or changed, to keep and preserve their freedom of expression? Because when you have companies like Sony over here that sit over here and scream, sexy woman bad, and then they're over here censoring anime games, which as you can tell when you're seeing anime game developers, like Japanese publishers over there, jumping ship from PlayStation to go to Xbox, Switch, and PC. Well, you already know that they don't want to censor their product. They don't want to censor their games. And, that's also something that mangaka and anime, creators are afraid of, is that companies like Sony are going to try to tell them what they can and can't do. And that should never happen. When it comes down to it, Japanese creators should be able to create whatever they want without having to worry about a company like Sony, for example, telling them they can and can't do something. They should be able to have their freedom of expression. And the thing of it is that Sony will probably try to take that away from them. And that's the big concern if Sony buys Crunchyroll. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.